This Backrooms level takes place on a ship, and it can teleport to any level that has water, even the pool rooms. Hey everyone, I'm Broogli, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about a special Backrooms level called the St. Mary, a ship to nowhere. This one is extremely anomalous, and it could be a new way to fast travel through different levels of the Backrooms. So if that sounds cool, stick around. I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's get into it, shall we? So level a ship to nowhere is classified as a class variable difficulty because it is kind of unstable and it also has a diverse entity count. The level itself, or what I'll call the St. Mary from now on, takes place on an anomalous cruise ship that can be seen traveling across different levels in the Backrooms. The actual ship itself is thought to be its own entity or level because it seems alive in a way. It's unknown if the ship travels interdimensionally through these Backrooms levels on its own, or if the Backrooms controls where it goes. Let me know in the comments what you think. The actual vessel itself is a Voyager-class cruise ship that looks to be an old and weathered ship most of the time. You can even see holes and big gashes in the side of it if you look closely. None of that matters though, because this ship can repair itself automatically. Of course, it does this in an unknown way, but hey, that's the Backrooms for you. Nothing has to make sense. On board of the ship, she has a crew that seems to be made up of faceling entities, very similar to the entities that run the apartment complex on level 13. The facelings really don't do anything because the ship drives and navigates itself, but they think that they take care of the ship and serve it, kind of like it's their master. So, like I said earlier, the ship can travel through different Backrooms levels seemingly with ease. Like normally, a person would have to find an exit or no-clip out of that level to get to the next one, but the St. Mary can just dissolve into different levels with no problems. We have absolutely zero idea how this happens or why it happens, but it does. And you actually might be able to use it to your advantage. You can do that by staying on it until it docks to a level you want to go to, but more on that later. On its own, the ship just floats around through a foggy ocean in the Backrooms. It can wander in this foggy, stormy ocean for days or months, and people who have been on the ship say that they're kind of trapped inside of it when it goes on these adventures between levels, because you can't really no-clip away, it doesn't work. You have to wait until the ship stops moving, and then get off on whatever dock you're at. And when the St. Mary is docked, anyone can get off, but there is no time or schedule when she leaves port. It just happens randomly with no reason. I'm sure you're asking, what's actually on the ship? Well, for the people who are willingly staying on it, they'll see cabins and rooms and casinos and theaters and spas and even swimming pools on deck, as well as things like kitchens and dining rooms and bars and lounges and everything you'd find on like an old fancy hotel ship. Inside of the bars and kitchens, the facelings serve a wide variety of foods and drinks if you ask for them, which theoretically means you could stay on this level for as long as you'd like and kind of go on a vacation through all the Backrooms levels if you want to. Now, the St. Mary does have some interesting characteristics to say the least, and they kind of make her a little strange. Specifically, when she's docking and when she's on the open waters. So when she's in port, the ship is kind of in this dormant healing state where most of the power is cut and it doesn't move for days and it kind of just sits there and floats. She's even been seen docking inside of a large pool rooms room before, which would be really weird, just walking through the pool rooms and seeing a freaking boat right there. But that does show you that it doesn't matter how big the level is, if there's water, this boat could be there. But when she's out on the open water, she's at her full strength and is pretty much sentient and decides wherever she's going and whatever she wants to do. And these open water type areas are located between the levels she travels to, kind of like how the blue channel is between other Backrooms levels. This ocean type area is between it for the St. Mary. So yeah, the entire level takes place on the ship, and the ship itself is considered the level 2, and on top of that, the area that immediately surrounds the ship is also considered to be part of the level. For example, when the St. Mary is docked in a place like the pool rooms, the room itself is seen growing huge and huge to expand to make itself fit the St. Mary inside of it. It also has this effect on the water underneath it, because the pool room's water by itself wouldn't be deep enough to have a ship, so it makes the water go down to an infinite level below below it. And as I just said, when the ship isn't in a known backrooms level and is just out on the open ocean, it always looks like this endless, foggy expanse of water. And it's thought to be this transitional space between levels, just like the blue channel is between other levels. This area has its own environment and everything, and it even has its own day and night cycle that seems pretty normal. There's also a huge amount of water creatures and entities that live around and below the ship, and I'll get into those right now. The first ones are these large neon jellyfish things that light up the waters around the boat. They seem to be aggressive, so it's probably not smart to jump overboard or anything. Then there's this starfish-like creature that sort of acts like a parasite in a way because they attach onto the ship and onto other entities and absorb energy from whatever they're attached to. Also, apparently, they're harvested and served as food on the ship. So if you want some fancy starfish, come to the St. Mary and eat it. Next are these carpet stingray type things, which are just huge, massive stingrays that blend into the environment very well, kind of like a gecko. They kind of just change their skin color based on the weather. They're literally so big that they kind of look like islands off in the distance, but they seem docile and nice enough. But of course, the ocean isn't fully safe, because why would it be? The next two entities are scary and thalassophobia inducing, so watch out. The colossal leviathans and the seafarer are the two entities I'm talking about, and the leviathans are just like their name implies. They're hundreds of meters in size, and they look like a giant worm-whale hybrid thing. Sometimes, one can even be seen following near the St. Mary itself, and it just gives off this really creepy thalassophobia, like stalking vibe. We have no idea why it's stalking the St. Mary, but I just assume it wants to attack it. Next is the seafarer, which is a large shark-type entity that kind of looks like an underwater dragon. This entity also seems to travel close to the St. Mary when it's in this transitional space, and it almost guides the St. Mary and protects it from other entities that would attack it, like the Leviathan. Of course, we have no idea why it saves the St. Mary or why it protects it, but I'm glad it does, because I don't want to be eaten by a giant water worm. As far as colonies and outposts go, the St. Mary's can hold around 4,000 people, and some of them live permanently on board, so you could call that a community, but there's also other groups that are stranger, like the Children of the Sea, who live on the boat, and they worship the sea creatures as like gods and deities, which is weird. If you want to know all about them, check the full article below. It's pretty interesting. To enter the level, you have a chance to get sent to the ship on any water-based level you go to, but be warned that when you get on it, there is no getting off until you get to the next port. So, to exit, you have to do what I just said and wait till the ship docks somewhere, and when it fully stops, you can get off. So far, it's been seen on level 7, 37, 300, 100, 30, and 155, as well as several others. But also, there's no exact schedule for her travels. She's just always going wherever she wants. Anyways, that's it for the video. This one was amazing. I really hope you enjoyed this explanation. Go check out the full article. This level actually might be one of my favorites now. I just love the vibe of it. It's pretty cool to have this mysterious transport vehicle that just goes through all the backrooms. I enjoyed it. Hope you did too. Make sure to tell somebody that you love and appreciate them because life is too short not to. Also, check below for my vlog channel. If you want more of me, you'll see more personal side of the Broogster. It'll be over there. Hope to see you all on my next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.